Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to play Deadly Premonition 2. I've been really looking forward to this game. Only the last few days, as we've neared release, have come out with a few things that have slightly worried me about it. First, it was the performance. This game runs like arse. I mean, if anybody has played the first game, that shouldn't really come as a surprise, but this game runs worse than the first game. That was didn't really impact my expectations particularly. Some of the other stuff I've heard has been a bit of a disappointment. There seems to be some perhaps not particularly on point trans representation in this game that borders on the transphobic. So that's a thing which is disappointing after Swery made The Missing, which was fantastic and really quite excellent in its representation. This, from what I've heard, to put it mildly, falls a little short. However, we're going to try and power through that stuff. I'm not going to gloss over it, but content warning there if that's going to upset anybody. There's also apparently some dodgy accents in this. Again, bordering on the problematic. So we'll see. So yeah, I've gone from really looking forward to this to being slightly worried, but nevertheless, let's not garnish the pudding too much. I'm going to try and enjoy it, despite things. Apologies if the audio is a bit terrible, by the way. My decent mic broke, and I'm using a Logitech USB Rock Band mic, so it probably sounds like arse. This is both a prequel and a sequel to the original game, so I am not certain how much events of the first game will play into this one. If you haven't played the first game, wow, play it. It's an experience. The gameplay is not great, so if you don't get on with the gameplay, maybe watch a Let's Play. This is something I really liked in the story trailer, because it gives me very heavy Season 1 Dexter vibes. With the ice truck killer. Oddly specific number.
God damn it. What a way to start the new year. At this rate, I'll be dead by Easter.
Quiet down, Agent Jones. You're on the clock.
Interesting. I can't actually
Quiet
look around.
Down. Ha! You have any idea what you've done? I'd be half naked in Havana right now if you hadn't shown up. Soaking up some rays, surrounded by a harem of bikini queens, a mojito in one hand, and a seafood-slathered Havana-style pizza in the other. What did I do to deserve this? Does God hate me?
No.
You sound
the
like an
regional bureau
arsehole.
chief merely issued a special order.
Oh. Yeah. How could I forget?
He has a very
Special
specific
order to
fancy.
rob me of my well-deserved vacation.
You want pizza? I'll buy you some pizza. Agent Jones, don't let him take control of the conversation. The moment you let your guard down, he'll strike.
Oh, are they busting in on
And no red, remember?
Morgan's place? I assume this is the present day. No red. Ooh, is that referencing the red seeds from the first game?
It's open. Come on in.
Francis Zach Morgan, yes. That's a spoiler, by the way. If you haven't played the first game, that is a massive spoiler. I read one review of this that didn't seem to realise, or clearly hadn't played the first game, because they were going that Francis York Morgan is old and has white hair in the present day sections. I'm like, that's because it's not Francis York Morgan, it's Francis Zach Morgan. They are different characters. Go and play the first game if you haven't. This is really the point to go do that. Whoa! The past sections of this are set in 2005. He's aged a lot in 15 years. Even for, Zach. If that's... Jesus Christ! What did they do to you?
You have questions for us.
Ooh. Us, I assume, being him
That's
and
why
York.
you're here, isn't it?
Ooh, red eye. Red eye's not good, right? Oh, look at that hairline. Mind you, I can't fucking talk. Okay. Do I? Oh no, I have to. Okay, this is all on rails, by the way. I can only go forwards and press the A button. God, the music's good. Was that a Smash Bros. Invite on the table? What's with the finger?
Mr. Morgan, before we question you, allow me to first read you your rights. Anything you say may be used against you in a court of law. Please keep that in mind as you speak. Do we have permission to film this?
I mean, you already pressed the power button and the record button, so I'm assuming that it's a bit late to ask that question.
Don't worry, my fairy. They're free to do whatever they like.
Who's he talking to? He's
Something
not talking
wrong,
to her.
Mr. Morgan? I'm FBI Special Agent Aaliyah Davis, and this is...
Simon Jones. An analyst from the Boston branch. He's been monitoring us for years now.
Oh, hi.
I like these type cards. They're good.
Seriously.
A Southern
awkward
belle
pauses
and
are
a
amazing.
Some loser who can't catch a break. Quite the uncanny duo. You'd be the perfect stars for the latest video game. Isn't that right, my fairy?
That's one hell of a subtitle.
How many years has it been since someone came to chat with us? Oh, but don't ask me about my fairy. That's a private matter.
It's hard to tell what he's thinking, but my eyes can't be deceived. If he's hiding something, it'll come out in his face. You solved many difficult cases across your career, utilizing your own unique MO. You've expertly cracked cases that were otherwise thought to be unsolvable. According to our records, after joining the FBI in 2002, you quickly solved 2 drug ring-related kidnapping cases. In 2003, you solved the Inside Out Flesh Skinner case in the suburbs of Pittsburgh.
That was referenced in a conversation in the first game, I think.
In 2004, the Jeffrey Dahmer wannabe case in Milwaukee.
The Jeffrey Dahmer wannabe case. I don't think they'd have called it that. The copycat killer, maybe. The Dahmer copycat, maybe.
And also the stuffed human collector case in St. Louis that very same year.
visually emotive case names.
In 2005, you coincidentally happened to solve the Lise Clarkson murder case while on vacation.
Is she trying to implicate him in all of these killings and things?
You went on to solve many other cases after that, all of them seemingly inexplicable.
Or is this going to be about forging evidence?
Did you really solve these cases all on your own?
He's going to say no.
There are no records of you using a wide-scale investigative team or working with anyone else.
I mean, he worked with somebody else on the case in the first game, technically. He worked with the entire team.
How did you ever accomplish
of,
such
police
monumental
officers.
feats all by yourself?
I didn't.
It was all thanks to our talented partner.
York!
Partner. The FBI files show no record of you ever working with a partner. Do you mean you worked with some sort of unofficial partner or an outside confidant?
More of a sort of inside confidant.
Our partner is our partner.
Although when he's saying
We've
our
always
partner,
worked together.
that implies somebody other than him and... You know.
Besides, Belle, you're forgetting one important thing. After the St. Louis case, we stopped by a diner on our way home and caught Thelma and Louise, two highly sought-after fugitives.
Hold L to use your vision. Use your vision will deplete your concentration, so be careful about using it too much. Okay.
Francis Zach Morgan. He was once an FBI special agent, an extremely talented one. At least that's what they tell me. Perhaps he was a little too talented.
Again, I'm not entirely sure what she's
The
implying.
smell. It doesn't surprise me at this point, but it'll be problematic in court if they decide his testimony is unreliable. I won't get another chance to talk to him face to face like this.
Okay, that implication I do
I need to get him to
understand.
stop smoking that for a bit. Excuse me, Mr. Morgan, but would you please refrain from consuming that while we speak? I'm talking about... Yes, that.
You don't need to worry about us. Don't get in our way, and we won't get in yours.
Unfortunately, questioning doesn't work like that. Our data needs to be consistent. Now please put out that stinking indulgence right this minute.
Why aren't they saying it? Is that just because they don't want to be censored in certain regions?
If we say no.
Then I'll put it out myself,
Wait, are you threatening him?
using force.
Yes, you are. You're threatening him physically. You're threatening a very clearly ill man.
This is Morgan's house.
Oh.
Besides, it's legal in Massachusetts for individuals to consume cannabis in the comfort of their own homes.
So they are happy saying it. Why was there pussyfooting around
and
it?
I mean, come on.
It's medicinal.
I'm assuming he's got cancer.
Exactly.
Hey, Belle. Why are you dressed so handsomely?
All right, York. Zach, calm it down a bit.
What are you talking about?
The thick black accessory wrapped around your neck. That's
A
a
tie?
male necktie.
Our necktie is gendered?
The color black represents confidence and interest in the self. And your decision to wear a male tie symbolizes your declaration of war against a predominantly male society.
I mean, sometimes a necktie is just a necktie. I'm surprised he hasn't talked about the knot.
Or perhaps it's a psychological barrier meant to hide the weakness that dwells deep within your psyche. We admire your bravery.
I thought you retired from profiling.
Bullseye, huh? You're an easy one to read.
In order to think with society, a man must first gouge out his eyes and cut off his ears. Don't judge a book by its cover. For someone who's supposed to have been one of our best, you've got an awful eye for people. Or did all that smoke and kill all your little gray cells?
Okay, Aaliyah, that's enough. She's smart, but she's also more of a shrew than she lets on.
Jesus Christ. No wonder she's a
Agent
bit like that
Jones,
when people are saying stuff
That's
like that.
sexual harassment.
Correct. Well. Again with the dark laughter.
So, Belle,
Very patronising,
does
calling her
that
Belle.
barrier of yours also protect you from violent criminals?
I don't think it's a literal barrier, Zach.
He's more dangerous than I thought. I can't read him. I'll just have to assault him head-on with questions then.
It's a choice of words again.
First, I'll try using the files on the table to shake him up. These files are from the case that took place just outside of New Orleans in 2005. The agent who handled the case was Francis Zach Morgan, and now he's sitting right in front of me.
Except, as we know, up until the incident in Deadly Premonition 1, it wasn't really Francis Zach Morgan. I am totally spoiling the first
Do
game
you
for you.
remember the
But
homicide
you shouldn't be
that
watching
took
this if
place
you've not
in
played
Le
the first
Carre,
game.
Louisiana in 2005?
We solved that case.
Your report states the following. By coincidence, you encountered a serious incident in a town you visited while on vacation. You then decided to steal the right to investigate from the local law enforcement and took over the case. After several more homicides, you managed to apprehend the perpetrator.
Yes. Yes. Yes, that's exactly what happened. We stole the right to investigate from them, just as you said.
It all started when the body of a 16-year-old girl was discovered. You arrived in Le Carre immediately after that, didn't you?
We just can't seem to keep ourselves away from dead girls.
That doesn't sound good.
Did you really visit that town just to take a vacation?
No, I suspect Red Seeds possibly had something to do with it.
We don't know.
Maybe.
If you already have the report, then we suggest you read it, Belle.
I don't know how much this is going to tie in with the first game.
Either way, that case is closed.
Or is it?
Closed. You sure about that?
Not anymore.
Don't you think this puzzle is still missing some crucial pieces?
Come on. No need to beat around the bush with us, Belle.
What's that noise? Oh, okay. Jesus.
They found Lise Clarkson's body. It was hidden deep within the Clarkson Food Delivery Services cold storage warehouse.
After 14 years, we finally discovered the body of the very first victim.
That something doesn't add up.
Do you know what this means? That's why we're here. The first victim in the case he solved, Lise Clarkson.
Are they trying to imply that he was the one who killed her and he made up an entire serial killer just to pin it on somebody
This
else?
is a photograph of what she looks like now. How will he react when he sees it?
He won't. Oh, I wish I'd investigated the chess game.
We're
Should've done that earlier.
pleased that her body turned up. Deeply pleased.
You claim to have closed this case, but now a lost body suddenly surfaced.
I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean the case isn't closed. If you still got the right perpetrator, I mean, the case is still closed. He solved the murder, even if he didn't have the body. So surely you've got more to go on than that.
Aren't you curious about the details?
I mean, I'm sure he probably is.
Body or not, we already solved that case.
Exactly.
Lisa's body can't change anything now.
Unless it was killed by somebody else.
And it certainly has nothing to do with us.
Unless it does.
I suspect the body was stored there rather than abandoned, due to the unnatural state it was found in. She was found frozen in a storage unit.
I mean, it's not just the frozen part that's
Therefore,
the
she
unnatural
looks
part.
exactly the same as she did when she disappeared.
I mean, she wouldn't, because you get freezer burn, surely.
In fact, she's in such good condition that we can even determine the murder weapon and cause of death.
Well, good for you.
Presumably
Even
it doesn't match
strangers
the
how
MO.
unbelievably beautiful she looks. At first glance, few would guess she was a murder victim at all.
I think they would, given by the fact that nothing is attached to itself.
She looks
Everything's
more
chopped
like a
up.
piece of art, or a mythological figure from a painting.
This keeps getting better and better.
Better and better?
Isn't that right, my fairy?
Oh God, are you talking? Am I the
Looks
fairy?
As beautiful as a goddess.
Oh, that's definitely a callback to the first game. That's a callback to the first 10 minutes of the first game.
Sounds just like our story.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
That went okay. Now I'm sure that Morgan's hiding something. I may be able to get what I want if we go deeper into the documents.
No, I want to look at the unfinished chess game first.
An ornate antique chessboard. Looks like he stopped halfway through the game. But who was playing with him?
He was playing himself. He was playing against York. I can answer that straight away. It's obvious.
That chessboard looks rather old. And you can't even buy those ivory pieces anymore.
Right. They were banned by the CITES Treaty.
That was made in France in the 1900s. We know it's in bad taste, but the weight of the ivory just feels so good in our hands.
You play chess alone?
Is that a crime?
No. But it's a hard game to enjoy when you're all by yourself.
Is it? Don't chess grandmasters play against themselves?
He's probably just replicating famous games. Or trying to solve problems from a chess workbook. Right, Morgan? I may not look it, but I'm actually a bit of a chess nut myself. When I was in school, I used to pore over every issue of Chess Life, the magazine published by the U.S. Chess Federation.
Well, unfortunately, your guess is completely wrong, Agent Jones.
Do tell.
He isn't replicating a famous game, nor is he solving workbook problems. There isn't a single chess book to be found in this apartment.
I mean, that doesn't mean he's not replicating famous games. If he's a chess nut, he may very well know famous games off the top of his head.
And I didn't find any chess-related websites in his internet history.
Wait. You haven't been on his computer, so that implies you've hacked him.
He was simply playing chess. All alone.
So... what's wrong with that, Belle?
I don't understand it. How could a single human being seriously play as both sides?
I mean, it's a thought experiment, surely.
You just publicly confessed to stealing personal data.
Oh, thank you, Zach. You are on the same train of thought as I am.
Like that's a much bigger problem.
It does, rather.
Oh no. Everything was done in a perfectly legal manner.
Was it? Expand upon that.
We simply happened to intercept a handful of data being sent out from an unknown origin.
That's not how that works.
Ooh, now she's really trying to scare us. Did you hear that, my fairy? Serious nightmare fuel.
Right, now my theorizing for why we are the fairy is in the first game. I am totally going to spoil the first game now, so if you have not already ducked out, that is on you. In the first game, Francis York Morgan, who you'll be probably more familiar with from screenshots because he has dark hair, constantly referred to Zach, who is who you're seeing now. And it felt very much for the whole game like he was referring to the player as Zach, until the reveal at the end that it's two personalities within the one body. It's Zach and York. It's implied that Zach created York as a coping mechanism for something that happened to him when he was a child, which I won't go into for specific spoilers. So I am assuming they're playing off the same thing, where now we already know that York and Zach inhabit the same body, but who is this fairy? They could be doubling down and going for breaking the fourth wall and referring to the player character. It wouldn't surprise me.
He didn't so much as twitch when he saw the picture of the body.
I mean, to be fair, he is loaded on cannabis. He's probably pretty mellow.
He's even tougher than the rumors made him out to be. But I was prepared for that. And if my hunch is right, he's deeply intertwined with this case.
I mean, you are probably right there, yes.
Far deeper than what my superiors think.
Isn't there someone else you should have talked to before coming to us? Such as...
We were unable to reach Patricia Clarkson. You look surprised. I thought you already knew. After all, you visited Louisiana last week. We assumed you met with her during your time there.
We haven't been to Louisiana. Not in 14 years.
Is that so?
We've been right here in our apartment this entire time.
Now that isn't true. Because the Akari incident took place before the incident in the first game, and he obviously wasn't in his apartment for the entirety of the first game. Or was he?
That man is our witness. Aren't you, Simon?
He's right. He didn't even take a single step outside on Christmas Eve, which means that I didn't get to either.
Are you positive about that? I took the liberty of checking some airline records. Last Friday, the name Billy Bishop was listed on a morning flight out of Boston.
Billy Bishop.
This is the fake name you used to use as an agent, isn't it?
I like the italics on fake name.
A mere coincidence.
Yet that's not all. That evening on the same day, a man with a large scar on his forehead allegedly purchased an '89 Cadillac from a small used car lot in Le Carré.
They keep saying Le Carré. I would have thought that would be Le Carré. But, I don't know.
He reportedly said he wanted something old, big, and strong.
Who are?
The owner of the car lot felt it was a strange order, so it stuck in his mind.
Our world is filled with mysteries. And they always have the most bizarre timing.
Incidentally, on the following day, an identical Cadillac was taken to a scrapyard in Trenton.
Oh, you didn't crash another bloody car, did you?
Trenton, New Jersey.
You can find that type of car anywhere. Isn't that right, my fairy?
I'm not very boned up on cars, so I can't answer that one for you, Zach. So I'm still getting the option to interrogate that stuff, so...
Who is it? This my fairy character you keep speaking to.
Is it me?
You can't see her? Such bad manners.
It's gonna be a dead girl, isn't it? It's gonna be a dead
Barge
girl.
into our apartment, yet you don't even care about who else is living here.
No, wait a minute. Oh god, how could I forget? Right, so at the end of the first game, Zach relinquishes control... York relinquishes control of the body back to Zach, because Zach's ready for the outside world again. And the woman that York and Zach effectively fell in love with, who dies, he goes off to sort of the other plane of existence, afterlife, whatever, with her. Does that mean she's back and she and York and Zach have all been living together in this apartment in his head?
Dissociative identity disorder. In the past, it was known as multiple personality disorder.
Okay, you are straight up getting spyless now.
You were subjected to an internal probe only once during your career, correct? They suspected that you had DID, but you denied it.
He's terrible at denying it if he keeps using we and our and talking to people who aren't visibly there.
And no problems arose during your test. Is this how you dealt with the psychological profiler back then, too? Saying strange things, weaving unrelated matters together, is that how you slipped through?
You're free to draw your own conclusions, Belle. But my fairy clearly exists. She's been sitting right there on your lap this entire time.
Okay,
Hey!
that is
Stop
the correct reaction. What?
No violence allowed in here, Belle. Wouldn't want to scare my fairy, now would we?
What did she do? Spoopy.
You may be wondering why we decided to unearth all these old files.
Well, presumably because the body showed up.
Everything happens for a reason.
The moment Lise Clarkson's body was found, we did the best we could to start our own local investigation. But there wasn't much we could actually investigate due to the damage caused by the hurricane.
Then we assume you also questioned everyone who worked in the warehouse.
Of course. We questioned all the Clarkson Food Delivery Services employees who staffed the warehouse and its owner, but we still have yet to obtain any key testimonies.
Par for the course with a 14-year-old case, if you ask me.
Not to mention how bad the timing was. Most of the employees were on vacation.
So, you gave up on the investigation and came to see us instead. Remember what happened, my fairy? That warehouse. That man. So incoherent. Such a pain.
Hey, are you talking about the guy who managed the vault where Lisa's body was found? Yeah, I think he started working there in 2005. Remember, Aaliyah? You said he was a pain to deal with, too.
The large man, yes? No need to answer, if you don't want to. I'm sure you've already put him under surveillance.
Can't be who I think it is,
Textbook
if they're still
FBI
around
protocol.
now.
Morgan's right. Everything happens for a reason. Even this messy room. There must be a reason for it. Especially when it comes to those strangely tidy spots. They're practically begging me to question them. DVDs are all over the place. I know that he's a shut-in, but this still seems like way too many for one person. And I've never
Probably got more
heard of any of
DVDs
these
than that.
titles before.
I know, what? You haven't heard of Ratman? It's a classic!
A stinking indulgence. And a massive DVD collection.
She likes the word indulgence.
You must live a very comfortable life.
We're retired, remember?
Retired in your 40s.
Dear, I thought he couldn't be that bloody old.
I'm envious.
But who doesn't love movies, Belle?
I'm not a fan.
Oh, that won't do.
You absolutely must see Ratman.
You should dedicate all the free time you have to watching movies. It's practically an unwritten law. Films guide us. Films are filled with every important life lesson there is.
Is that so?
For example, They Live, 1988, directed by John Carpenter. That film taught us a valuable lesson. always put on your sunglasses before a fight.
You know, you've got a point.
No, he doesn't. That is not the message of that film.
Movies teach us about everything we need to know.
Oh, God.
I learned about the right way to eat frozen pizza from Cobra. It's one of Stallone's best films.
Jesus.
Before that, I wouldn't be caught dead trying to eat frozen pizza. I thought it wasn't fit for human consumption. But that film changed my life.
Simon, that has nothing to do with the film.
Patronizing.
You're just talking about pizza.
Coming from him who just got the meaning of they live wrong.
Mr. Morgan, may I ask you a question purely out of curiosity? If it makes you uncomfortable, just let me know.
Why do you care about that suddenly? You've been a totally aggressive, interrogator up until this point.
And I'll retract it.
Belle, what's wrong? You sure put a lot of effort into that approach.
It's a question about death.
About this body?
Are you afraid of what's coming?
I assume it's cancer.
Think carefully about why we're smoking this, then ask us again. Honestly, we're not afraid. Rather, we find it intriguing.
Intriguing.
Yes. Belle, have you ever been to the Grand Canyon in winter?
No.
In the dead of winter, the Grand Canyon is terribly cold. Colder than you could imagine. A cold that no photograph could ever express. The sun. Powerless. And the temperature drops below zero.
I mean, if there were no sun, it would drop substantially further below zero.
Right in the middle of the day.
Meaning?
Meaning, you can't really understand something until you experience it for yourself. If you want to learn more about us, you need to gain more experience, Belle.
Do you like fresh vegetable juice?
Why would you think that?
There's a juicer in your sink that hasn't been washed yet. And do I smell the faint fragrance of baked beans? You didn't use much salt, did you?
I mean, most bloody baked beans, you don't need it.
What are you implying?
She's implying that you're a bean
You
juicer.
just told me that you find impending death to be intriguing.
And yet you eat fucking bean juice. Ugh.
That confused me. When I look around your room, all I can see are the many ways in which you're resisting death. Poly-MVA treatment, highly concentrated vitamin C IVs, fresh vegetable juice, vegetable protein without salt, gallons of vitamin D milk for fat and calcium.
That's because he has
The
something to do first.
ambivalence. Yes.
What?
Two contradictory emotions, mixing, coexisting together. An adult, mature mind is never satisfied with only one response.
I presume he's not afraid of death, but he's trying to put it off because there's something he's trying to
It's
achieve.
common sense. Isn't that right, my fairy?
Mr. Morgan. I found several spots in this room that look strangely clean. Did you tidy up a bit because you knew we were coming?
Those are sanctuaries. They've existed from the start.
Sanctuaries.
That's right. Sacred places. Hovels for pure souls, if you will.
Were there originally objects in those hovels? Something you didn't want us to see?
The soul's still there. We haven't touched a thing. But we know You can't see anything. Hey, Simon, don't touch the sanctuary.
Sorry.
Yes, Simon. Jesus.
That's a sanctuary.
That not the best explanation, but okay.
Ever touch it again.
Jesus.
You've been watching us for 4.5 years, and you couldn't even figure that much out?
My bad. It's my first time actually coming inside, you know.
You're earning far more than you deserve then. What were you doing all
Jesus.
day in that black Suburban? We thought wiretapping was your specialty. Don't tell me. Crossword puzzles. What do you think, my fairy? 4.5 years. All that time, and what does he have to show for it?
Crossword puzzles? No way. Come on, I thought you knew. I'm a Sudoku guy.
Agent Jones,
Oh, right.
What a penis.
he's completely taken control of the conversation. At this rate, we'll never get anywhere. I need to press him some more. Agent Jones, did you find the files?
Aha! Green Veil.
Mr. Morgan, do you recognize these files?
I do. Oh my god.
Whoa.
He touched the sanctuary.
Ow!
We told you. That's a sanctuary.
Let him go! Assaulting an FBI agent is an obstruction
told
of
Your
you.
finger's
justice.
bleeding.
We told you. Go. Stay back. Stay back. Sanctuary. Down. Savannah.
Alright, Zach. Blood. Red. Red. It's red. It's red.
Yeah.
It's red.
Mr. Morgan,
He saw red. Literally, he saw red. I like the growling like a dog. That's amazing.
I cut my finger with that can opener this morning. I
Okay.
thought I stopped the bleeding, but it seeped through. How could I be so stupid? Everything should be fine now.
So they are aware of red being an issue.
I'm sorry for being so careless. I made sure to read through your file and learn about your condition. The color red, such an unusual thing to fear.
Yeah, the old tune!
Please, accept my deepest apologies.
Yeah, we'll call it even than the whole assaulting my partner thing.
I'm sorry too, Morgan. I don't know what I was thinking. I'll never touch one of your sanctuaries ever again. And no more red, either.
Don't ever touch one again. I told them not to. Why would they do that?
Now,
It was an
may we
accident,
return to
to
our
be fair.
discussion?
Albeit he was an idiot.
Don't worry.
Strangely enough, this man has a fear of the color red.
Not that strange.
And I believe that fear is connected to the Greenville case.
You would be correct.
This is a very large shredder. Is there something you don't want people finding out about?
Good question. But we never know when some curious civil servants may come and sift through our trash now, do we?
If they've only just discovered this body, which is presumably, or ostensibly, as they say, the reason they're coming to talk to Zach, why have they been watching him for 4.5 years?
You're already retired. What are you so worried about?
It's just a simple habit. From back when we were still on duty. Didn't they bang that into your head when you were up in Quantico? Some habits are Hard to break, no matter how hard you try.
Could you tell me what exactly the word sanctuary means to you?
Sanctuaries are sanctuaries.
I mean, yes.
Nothing more and nothing less.
Something that keeps something safe.
That doesn't explain anything.
Or to revere something.
Why do you wish to know?
Just curious.
She's asking the wrong questions. What are the sanctuaries keeping safe? What is taking sanctuary?
Belle. You're a much ruder person than you initially seemed to be.
Really? I think she's mellowed out as this conversation's gone on.
Don't you agree, my fairy? What do our sanctuaries have to do with the investigation? If you're out of questions, then how about just going home?
Hey, mind if I jump in here?
I like
What
that
is
he's
it,
taped all the
Simon?
milk cartons together.
We hope you've got a real question for him.
Well, actually, I'm also a little curious myself. No one's supposed to touch any sanctuary, right?
That's what we said.
What about you, though? You can't even touch them yourself? Are there any extenuating circumstances?
Better question than hers.
What are you getting at?
I mean, I doubt if any of this really matters, but if no one can touch the sanctuaries, then how do you clean them?
Silence. Wow, that it really was just silence. I don't know what this focus thing does. Very odd. Oh well, let's
Mr.
get into
Morgan?
Greenvale.
I'd like to ask you some questions about this case now.
We don't want to remember that town.
Understandable.
I'm sorry, but there's no way around this. I remember hearing about this case on the news when I was still a student.
What did you hear? Because I'm curious as to what an external perspective on this was, because we only ever got York and Zach's perspective.
A high school girl named Anna Graham was murdered and the FBI stepped in to take over the case. I also remember it becoming a sprawled investigation due to evidence found in the victim's throat.
All accurate
Is that
so far?
correct?
Yes.
After that case, you went on sick leave for 2 years. And when you returned, you requested to be switched over to desk work. What happened?
Wow. How's he going to summarize it?
Private matter.
He's not
None
good.
of your business, Bill.
Were you traumatized? It's a common problem with prolific agents such as yourself. But there's another possibility that may make more sense. Perhaps
You lost something?
you simply finished making preparations.
Oh, interesting take. I think I know where this might be going.
What are you getting at?
Thinking too much about something will always turn it into a problem. The Greenvale case, don't you think it resembles the Luke Carre case?
Read the report. We have nothing else to say.
I just need one more push. One more thing that can summon up the past. The silver clock in that trash pile. Is that an H5?
What's an H5?
That's right. John Harrison's fifth
Oh,
chrono,
right.
completed in 1770. After many years, he completed it and presented it to the Board of Longitude in order to end their feud with him. That's only a replica, of course.
You like clocks?
Clocks are amazing. prime fruit of the human race's intellect. We took the invisible idea of time and manifested it in these.
Yeah, I love clocks too. Absolutely fascinating.
God, that character's a douchebag.
I disagree.
Oh? What?
Time is valuable precisely because it can't be seen. Yet nowadays, people can't tell what time it is unless it's measured in numbers. Talk about idiocy.
Afraid I disagree there. You couldn't...
I don't mean to side with the Board of Longitude, but remember, humans used to cross oceans with the stars alone.
Right.
We have our eyes to read moon charts and study the sky. We don't need clocks.
You realize how many things of modern life we wouldn't be able to use if we had no clocks, right? It's not just the whole navigation thing and...
What if it's cloudy or storming?
All you need is courage and a love for adventure.
Alright, you go out on a boat with courage and a love for adventure. We'll see how far it gets you.
Hear that, my fairy? Courage and a love for adventure? Come on, Belle. Surely you know how many lives have been claimed by your pals' courage and adventure.
I'm with Zach on this one.
Hey, hold on a second here. That Board of Longitude thing. What the heck is that? I mean, I've heard of it before.
Yeah, sure you have, Simon.
I'm an FBI analyst, remember? I just sort of can't remember it right now. I know what it is, really. I'm telling the truth.
I love the protestations.
Come on, Aaliyah, back me up here.
Honeycomb in a
royal
jar.
jelly.
Huh?
You were staring at the jar, weren't you? Do you find it strange that there's honeycomb inside? We wanted to harvest royal jelly in its most natural state. The queen's main food source, created from the worker bee's secretions. It's a perfect food, filled with power. By absorbing it into our own bodies, we too can acquire that power. Incidentally, did you know that all the worker bees are female?
No.
Guess they didn't teach you that at Quantico. Male bees are only born to inseminate, and they're born from unfertilized eggs to boot. They have short lives and don't even get stingers. Sort of feels like a glimpse into the future of our society, wouldn't you agree? Women are gifted with the power to conceive, give birth, and nourish their children. But men are consumed with the job of providing women with the chance to do so. If women no longer had to rely on men for the seeds of life, they would soon cease to desire them, we believe.
Possibly, but arguably massively overly simplistic. But I see what you're getting at.
Be careful, Simon.
I don't think Simon needs to worry. I don't think anybody's interested in him.
Huh?
Your Belle's already stolen the reins from you.
I mean, she's markedly more competent for one, yes.
Mr. Morgan, please look at this.
Oh, abrupt audio change to that.
What did... We don't want to remember Greenvale.
This isn't a photo from Greenvale.
But it's linked.
Look closely at it. Former Special Agent Francis Zach Morgan. This photograph predates Greenvale. It's from the Lucare case you worked on in 2005.
Red
Yes.
tree.
Red tree.
Red tree.
Yes, a red tree. Greenvale wasn't the first place you saw one of these.
No, it was just the culmination of everything.
The Greenvale case and the Lise Clarkson murder case, they're connected by these red trees,
Which means they're also connected by FK.
aren't they?
Fuck it, I'm just going to say, they're also connected by Forrest Kaysen. Or at least the person who goes under that pseudonym. Yeah.
Red trees.
If you're still here now, I'm assuming you know the first game now.
Answer me. What are these trees?
Red trees.
I want the truth. Tell me everything you know.
The truth? You can't handle the truth!
The red trees. You really did your homework. Well done, Belle. You're good. Damn good.
Are you ready to talk now?
Good question.
I want to know what went down in Le Carré in 2005.
Fine. We'll tell you. We'll tell you what happened in that town. Yes, it was that red tree. That red tree ruined my life. It was.
I mean, arguably that kicked off before Lucare, but okay.
It was a sultry summer day. The sun comes down hard on you in the south, like a torrential downpour of demonic whispers. It all started back in that sweltering summer. We still had our best friend with us back then. The other me.
Oh, so York hasn't been with
My-
him. So who's the hour?
Better half.
Something else living with him? That also blows the fairy theory out of the water. Wow, an hour in and we're only getting the title sequence. Jesus. This is already a sick opening.
When somebody needs you, you can't turn away.
It's like the coffee.
You're their only lifeline, just a hero, a bullet for hire, working alone. Always a voice, a cry in the darkness, an echo of pain that's been long
Jesus.
forgotten, but it haunts me, my destiny to be alone. There's a time when you see life for what it's gotta be. You should know they'll destroy you. They'll call to me to keep searching.
Okay, this opening is amazing.
Walk alone.
Jesus. Jesus fucking Christ, skulls, naked fat men, Jesus. That was one fucking hell of an opening. Jesus. Okay.
Zach.
Hello, York. York?
Zach.
Yes. Hello, York.
Can you hear me, Zach? There you are, Zach. Sleeping again? Well, rise and shine. It's time for us to head back out into the chaos. Isn't that right, Zach?
These are very long pauses between where nothing happens. Ooh. Ooh, one leaf. York? I both hate and love that the 2 is the L. It's so bad. Right, I'm getting ready for like 10 frames per second at any point. Hello, Burb. With a hook.
Zach, it looks like she wants us to join her for breakfast. Perhaps this town's finally starting to warm up to us.
Oh no, it's a wormy, maggoty thing. I thought it was a hook.
Look at that, Zach. She's welcoming us with open arms. She's even willing to share that tasty morsel with us. What an honor.
I'll stick with your
Hurry
lobster,
up and
mate.
chow down, mister. Unless you like your breakfast stale.
What an amazing place. I've been on top of the moon since the moment I got here. And the name of this wonderful town, Le Carré, sounds like French to me. But what does it mean?
Oh, he said Le. Not Lou.
I'm the chef, David.
You can probably tell
If
that
you
from
want
his
to know
hat.
about the town, you'd better ask the concierge. Only amateur chefs flap their gums about stuff that ain't food related.
I like David already.
Did you hear that, Zach? He's a true professional.
You say something, mister?
No, not to you. I was just talking to Zach.
Zach?
Please don't ask me about Zach. It's a private matter.
If you say so, still. Never thought the FBI would ever come out to a little old town like ours.
I do work for the FBI, but I didn't come here for an investigation. I just happened to stop by on my way to New Orleans.
Never thought there'd be a murder out here either. And it was a 16-year-old kid. Now I tell you, this country's seen better days. What you reckon, mister?
Zach, he's definitely a professional, but it seems like he's also a bit lonesome. That's good. Ambivalence exists everywhere.
Folks say the killer used an axe. Hell of an old-fashioned choice if you ask me.
Actually, Chef David, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the incident.
But shoot, I ain't the one you ought to be asking, Mr. FBI. I only heard what I heard. But seeing as you're fixing to grill me, I can tell you what I know.
Please do. I appreciate it. You said the victim was a 16-year-old. Did you know her?
Well, sure. I reckon the whole town did.
Meaning?
She's Lise Clarkson, the little grandbaby of the Clarkson family.
The Clarkson family?
That's right. You ain't seen they sign on your way in here? The one above that huge cold storage complex.
Oh.
Should have had a dragonfly on it. Anyway, that's the Clarkson family seal. They own most of the land around here, from the sugar plantations right down to the food processing plant. Yeah, I reckon they got a stake in just about everything. They even own the water tower on the edge of town, you know? They're the ones who built up this town, and they still support it.
Is the local law enforcement investigating the case?
Presumably. Presumably not, then.
Shoot, mister, what you think?
Okay.
Now, I told you this ain't no city. We in the bonafide boondocks here. They got to know how to break up fights and keep folks from killing each other when they pissed you off. They sit down and talk it out with you heart to heart, and when that don't work, they just beat your ass. That's the Deep South for you.
Well, that's a lot of everywhere, unfortunately.
This murder ain't like that, though. A little kid got killed. A weird way. Like something on a TV show.
Yeah, Dexter,
Sheriff's
if it's
Department
the
ain't
one
never
frozen.
seen nothing like this.
No, it can't be the one's frozen, because that body's only just been found. Ah.
Live and Let Die, Angel Heart, and The Pelican Brief, right? 9 out of 10 people will name those titles when you ask them to think of a film set in New Orleans. They're all excellent movies, but to me they lack realism. Due to my line of work, I have a tendency to think deeply about what feels real and what doesn't.
What's your point?
What's your point?
Cat People. That's my point. Cat People. 1982, directed by Paul Schrader. The crowning achievement of Nastasia Kinski, the ultimate muse of the 80s. The most vital element of that movie is the reality it depicts. Leopards who turn into humans have intercourse with humans and turn back into leopards. Then they can only turn back into humans again if they mutilate their lovers. I was awestruck by the sheer reality of it all.
Ladies and gentlemen, Francis York Morgan.
Understand? I'm talking about hyper-realism. After watching it, I felt like I just had to experience the world of Cat People for myself. That's why I decided to visit New Orleans.
Okay.
Another
That's just
vital
the
element
natural
of Cat
response.
People is the presence of Malcolm McDowell.
Yes.
Malcolm
absolutely.
McDowell from Blue Thunder. Oh, talk about a master. Listen carefully, David. Only an amateur would call A Clockwork Orange his best movie. His best movies are Cat People and Blue Thunder.
God damn it.
Period. You need to remember this, because it's the truth.
I know we'll fucking cut you if you disagree.
Whatever you say, mister.
Yeah, David, just
So,
ignore him.
what's your point again?
Never mind, don't worry about it. I already covered all the important parts. When you say it was like something from a TV show, what exactly do you mean?
Hey, mister. Why do you like a kid asking grandma to read him a fairy tale?
I just can't seem to keep myself away from young women who died in bizarre ways.
It's the second time that's come up already, and it's still very bad. Very bad, just phrasing, and the reality is not great either.
Well, I ain't seen it with my own eyes, but folks say they found the body hanging under a bridge on the bayou. And under that bridge, there was some kind of altar.
An altar?
Like something they use in black magic. Something horrible.
Voodoo?
Nah, wasn't nothing like that.
That's all?
Oh, and the body was all cut up in pieces, scattered around the altar like.
So she was sacrificed.
That's what the fella who discovered her said, yeah.
Bingo, Zach. This case has got our names all over it. What do you know about the Clarksons' house?
Now, I ain't got nothing bad to say, but I'm gonna talk straight to you. You best steer clear of that place. That family ain't just some gang. They're a whole different kind of beast. They folks with real power. Remnants of the good old boys who shaped America in the early days.
No, not so good old boys then.
Especially the head of the family, P.J. Clarkson. He's the kind of monster who goes around eating other monsters. And I'm sure he's on edge now with his granddaughter getting murdered and all. So don't go barging in with that shiny FBI badge of yours and think you'll be safe for nothing. Things are different down here. So if you plan on sticking around, you best remember that.
I see. I'll keep that in mind.
By the way, Mr. FBI, I ain't seen a car in the parking lot. How'd you get all the way out here, huh? Don't tell me you walked.
Well, that's a very good question. Chef David, you've got a sharp eye. It's true that I didn't park my car in your parking lot. Do you know why?
Can't say I do.
Because it was stolen.
Huh? But you with the FBI, right?
Even FBI cars can be stolen. It could happen after you park your car on the side of the road and go off to do some legwork. When you're eating lunch, when you're watching a movie, when you're asleep at night, when you're buying cigarettes at the local supermarket. Your car can be stolen anywhere. That's precisely what it means to be an FBI agent.
Yeah, our cars get stolen all the bloody time.
In my case, my car was stolen while I was on my way down here.
Wait a minute, what are you... implying while you were driving it?
But no need to worry. I already reported it to the local authorities. And I've also already acquired another mode of transportation.
Spoiler alert, it's a skateboard. I'm so looking forward to that.
Another mode?
Want to hear the details?
Not really. But I'll listen if you want me to.
Oh, David, you don't have to put up with this shit. David, please. Don't feel you need to be polite to Francis York Morgan. York just likes the sound of his own voice.
Then please do.
York is a very fun character, but he's not the greatest person. He's an arrogant twat.
After I finished my work in Houston, I flew to New Orleans. Then, I rented a car at the airport. Whenever I visit the West Coast, I always rent a convertible, especially in California. But now I'm in hot and sticky Louisiana, so I decided on a brand new hybrid car with a fully equipped air conditioning system.
A hybrid car?
Oh yes, they're marvelous. Vehicles that utterly defy everything you think you know about cars. Now, in the year 2005, it feels like we've finally entered the 21st century. Stomp down on the gas all you want. The engine won't make a sound.
It's silent?
At first, I felt like the landscape was moving past me on its own. Give it a few more years, and I'm sure we'll start seeing cars that run purely on electricity. And who knows? In a decade or so, electric sports cars may end up lining the parking lots of Silicon Valley.
Retconning York's intelligence in this way with the knowledge of today.
I can see it now. It's the world of The Last Starfighter. 1984, directed by Nick Castle.
Yep.
It's famous for being the first film to utilize realistic CG, but I couldn't care less about that. See, I was mesmerized by the beautifully refined mech designs. It even made me wish that I could be one of them myself, especially the Gunstar spacecraft. No other sci-fi movie has ever had.
So, where'd your hybrid car get stolen?
Well done, David. Well done.
Sorry, I got off topic.
Yes, you did.
I noticed it was missing after I finished my lunch and walked out of the diner. Incidentally, this diner was located at the entrance to a small town just south off the I-10. I went out to get back in it, but my hybrid car was nowhere to be found.
Also, of course, York would instantly be attracted to a hybrid car.
I remembered exactly where I parked it.
It's the exact
Right
sort of
between
thing
a
he'd be
blue pickup truck
like
and a
stupidly
hedgerow.
fixated on.
But when I came back from lunch, it had completely vanished. In short, someone stole it.
As opposed to partially vanished.
And in its place, they left me this.
What?
A skateboard.
A skateboard?
Yes. While I was sliding my lunch into my stomach,
Horrible way of phrasing that. Please tell me you can customize the design on the other side of the skateboard.
someone was busy replacing my brand new hybrid car with a wooden board attached to 4 wheels. Remarkable, don't you think?
I mean, it's even more, economical.
So then how did you get here?
On the skateboard, presumably.
By riding the skateboard, obviously. Why do you look so surprised? No, I couldn't ride the board very well at first.
But now I'm a dab hand.
But by the time I hit the 3-mile mark, I'd more or less gotten the hang of it. By the 10-mile mark, I'd even learned to do a few tricks. It was
Oh,
a
God.
journey of self-discovery.
Jesus Christ.
Not even I knew I had this latent talent sleeping inside me.
This summer's gonna be another hot one. It's supposed to get over 95 today. Watch out you don't go getting heat stroke.
Felice Clarkson case needs us. Don't you think so, Zach? The cat people are what guided us to New Orleans. We should be thanking Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah.
Once we get home, let's watch Blue Thunder again. I'm already looking forward to it. Aren't you, Zach? Zach. The searing light. These scents. It's the deep south.
This would have been the other point for the title card
That
to
was a
come up.
fabulous breakfast. You're the world's greatest chef.
You barely touched it.
Wait, mister. You didn't take a single bite.
Well, the tea was to die for,
Yeah, you prefer coffee normally.
but I'd prefer coffee next time.
Yes!
What would a morning
Every
be
single
without
time.
coffee?
Oh, God. Every single time I'd say something like that, then is the next line. Oh, I really hope this game isn't going to upset me. I'm enjoying it so far, but I'm ready for the other shoe to drop. Oh, the other thing I've heard is these loading screens take ages, like up to like a minute or over. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Oh, God, the performance is terrible and this is indoors. That's like input delay. Oh, God. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but I mean, it's what I expected. Is he really wandering around in his pajamas? $203? God, this game's got a baller soundtrack, though. God, this runs like arse. I am terrified of going outside now. There's been barely any interaction so far, and I've still been really enjoying myself. I almost would be like happier saying, let's just make this a walking sim.
San Rouge. Been chasing it all over America. But I feel like we're finally on the verge of finding something now. Don't you, Zach?
Oh, God, this tune's bad. Badass, that is. Sorry.
I
I'll get
think
back
it's
to it
about
again.
time we ordered a new briefcase.
I think
Yes,
it's about
know
time you
this one
ordered a new
carries lot of
car.
memories, but it's seen too much. This hole's from the shootout in Tucson. And this stain's from Miami. Miami. Now that was a fascinating case. Billy, our perp, cut his own torso right in two. Even with the help of the drugs. A feat like that still requires incredible mental fortitude.
And reasonable brute strength.
I was so impressed that I forgot I'd left my briefcase on the floor. Same floor his blood gushed out onto.
Wow, the resolution of the reflection is
I know, Zach,
amazing.
I know. Now isn't the time for a trip down memory lane.
Terrifying collarbone he had there, by the way. If you go back about 5 seconds and just look, cut meat on that collarbone.
An emergent drug that's been on the rise in 4 southern states.
Jesus, that was loud. Okay, I'm going to assume this is made from the red
Personally,
seeds.
I think it originated right here in Louisiana. And Lise Clarkson's murder must be connected to it somehow.
I mean, that's a big jump of logic, but I suspect you have a reason for it.
The 16-year-old girl who was murdered. Her body was found beneath a bridge over the bayou, along with a strange altar. The powerful man who essentially controls the town of Lucare, and he seems to be more fearsome than your average gangster. I doubt he'll be willing to cooperate with any law enforcement, Zach.
Ow! I wasn't expecting that one.
You know, I keep thinking about that movie we stopped to see on our way here, Zach. The Island, 2005, directed by Michael Bay.
Now, that is not a film I expected to come up in this.
For a movie being shown at a cinema complex, it was surprisingly artistic. An experimental setting mixed with hard-hitting drama.
What are you thinking of the same The Island?
It was art house sci-fi.
That is a bit of a push.
That director's going to change the history of art house films.
Okay, this is definitely deliberate.
Are you following me here?
No, York.
This is another special film that's setting a new standard, just like Star Wars and Blade Runner did.
Okay, this is just trolling now.
This is a turning point, Zach.
Has anyone actually talked about The Island 2005 since that year? Ever?
You may be witnessing the birth of a vital new word that will soon become a part of film history.
What word would that be, York?
Yes, this single movie may be responsible for creating a whole new genre several years down the line. A genre known as island movies. I sure like the sound of that. Don't you, Zach?
Sorry. Oh god. Oh god. Fucking Jesus Christ. Fucking island movies. Oh my god. Oh, okay, I think I'm gonna have to save this stuff in there because I can't handle it anymore. How do I save? Island movies.
I'm very satisfied with the decorations and the size of this closet, Zach. And it's even got a security box. What else could a man ask for?
What is that in the reflection
It's
that I've
proof
only just
that we're
clocked?
still safely inside the fringes of modern civilization.
Is that some animal skull on a dummy? Wait, let me turn around. No, I understand what a closet does. I'm happy with the agent suit for now. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that? That's just in the room. Okay, I can't save yet, so I guess this goes on a little bit longer. Hey, David.
Hey there, Chef. What's cooking?
Chef, what are you talking about, sir? I'm the concierge, David.
Okay,
I
I'm
just
on board.
heard from our chef that you wish to learn the meaning behind our town's name.
Yes, I've gathered that Lucare is French, but does it have any special meaning?
Why, yes, sir, of course it does. A very clear, logical meaning. All names have meanings. Would you like to know what this one means?
I think that was
Yes, I
implied by
would.
the question.
Jolly good, sir. Then allow me to explain. Lucare means square in French.
Ah,
So the square.
and
That's it.
that's it?
Yes, that's
It is a square shape.
Do take a gander at the town map in the lobby if it fancies you.
Interestingly enough, the
It's
shape of the
beautiful,
town in
valuable,
First Deadly Premonition
and
was
old.
actually a thing.
I'm sure you'll understand once you see it.
It was the shape of a dog.
Now, please excuse me, sir. If you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to ask.
A dog which may show up in this. But we'll have to see. Christ, York's creepy
Did you
smile
see
is
that,
always
Zach?
amazing.
That was clearly David. Not
Don't-
a twin, not a split personality, just the work of a true professional. It's bizarre, but I can understand it. Remember what they say, the job makes the man.
Ow! That's so loud. Everything else is fine, but that's really loud. Is that the map? Was the map in my room? Oh, pardon me. No, it's down there. Okay. Let's go have a look at that then.
Do you feel that, Zach? Dozens of paintings no one will ever see. The faint scent of tobacco baked into these walls for over a century. Now that's what I call a hotel. Zach, can you see him? His fashion sense is beyond me, but he appears to be a gentleman. Perhaps we should talk to him.
The painting's moving. Okay. This isn't weird by Deadly Premonition standards, so fine, I'm on board. That is a fucking cool design.
Nice tie. Did you buy it here?
It's been a long time since someone spoke to me. No one these days ever tries to see me.
They can see what's far in the distance, but are blind to what's in front of them. No. Maybe they're only pretending not to see. That's what civilized society does to people.
Exactly. Ever since mankind got their hands on civilization, they zoomed away at a frightening speed.
Zoomed away from what?
Don't be a fool. You know the answer. As for me, just call me Hoongan.
Hoongan. The title given to a leader in a certain religion. Is that what you are?
Do you comprehend the Oracle?
The Oracle. Put on your religion hat, Zach. Here we go.
Felton maidens, in the shrine of hunger, find the flying serpent in the ambiguous zero. Dance with the flying serpent, and you will glimpse the other world.
10 maidens and an ambiguous zero. Got it. But
This
what
is
do you
this
mean
game's
by
FK in the
other world?
coffee, I'm guessing.
Follow the Oracle.
The bass line on that track was fucking fierce.
Zach, did you hear all that?
Oh
Looks
no,
like
this is.
we've already taken our first step
Okay.
into chaos.
I was worried that's where he was going to start
But
doing the
such
accent.
is our duty. We need to accept the chaos, let it inside, then carefully dismantle it piece by piece. And after we've put all the pieces back into their rightful places, the truth will reveal itself.
They like that they can do reflections in this new
Let's
engine.
capture the truth and present it with a shiny pair of silver bracelets, Zack.
God, it's like running through molasses. Still can't save. So let's have a quick look at this map before we close into it. So it definitely is a square. But is there anything else weird about it? They've already driven attention to the fact that it's a square. Can't see anything odd. Ambiguous zero.
Zack, this is Lucare. I think I'm finally starting to understand what our concierge was trying to say. You can tell this town was built by a very methodical person.
It's built on
No,
a block
wait.
system.
Maybe they just didn't care, and that's why it ended up this way. It's just another symbol of mankind's obsession with molding nature to fit our own rules.
Is there a circle in there, though? Or a zero? Okay. The map has been unlocked. Press minus for the map?
Zack, what did you think of Hungun's oracle? Despite all the dramatic build-up, it's little more than a childish riddle. Heartwarming, really. Exactly the kind of feeling one gets from the good old-fashioned countryside. Now let's start by tracking down those 10 maidens. The oracle gave us a place and an act. We need to go to the Shrine of Hunger and fell 10 maidens. Now where in this town can one satiate their hunger? The hotel and where? Alexis's Diner and Lane.
Okay, so this isn't this game's
This is
SK
it,
in the
Zack.
coffee.
There are even pins and a bowling ball on the sign. I bet we'll be able to eat some Cajun cuisine and bowl there. Maybe even both at the same time.
Oh, don't get too crazy there,
Nice
York.
job, Zack. I knew you'd be able to find it. Now for the other oracle. There's no flying serpent on this map. Could it be a contrail or perhaps a dragon? I'm sure we'll find out later. First, let's just figure out where we need to go. Do you know what the ambiguous zero represents? Zero is usually treated as a base number, but under what conditions would a base number be ambiguous? The answer is temperature, Zack. Yes. 0 degrees Fahrenheit is minus 17.7 degrees Celsius, and 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more ambiguous zero than that. The question is, does our zero refer to Celsius or Fahrenheit? Let's think for a moment. We're in Louisiana. Which measurement system do we use here in America?
Fahrenheit. I assume it's going to be Clarkson Food Delivery Services because it will be for cold.
The Clarkson Food Delivery Services Cold Storage Warehouse. That's got to be it. Even with this blazing sun in the sky, they can easily keep the temperature below freezing. Be honest now, Zack. You knew the answer from the very start, didn't you?
No, I did not. It seemed like a bit of a jump to go from ambiguous zero to, oh, it must be referring to temperature. I was looking for an actual circle,
And
because
how
I'm
about
a
that
moron.
Hungun? What a mysterious character. His oracles may end up determining how much time we spend in this town.
Don't do it, York.
Sorry, boss, but this is a smoke-free hotel. If you're dying of smoke, head out the entrance and you'll find a smoking area in the rear parking lot.
Don't tell me. You're the
At
bellboy.
your service, boss.
I love that David does all the jobs.
Are you good friends with the concierge and the chef?
We work at the same place, yeah. But, I can't really say whether we're good friends with each other. We're all professionals, though. Nothing more, nothing less.
I believe we've struck gold here, Zach. It just screams Deep South, actually. No, it doesn't. This is all his charm. So, if I want to smoke, I should go out the entrance and around to the rear parking lot?
Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay. I'll play by your rules.
Good. As you should. Excellent. Get a strike and find a spot where it's cold. Okay, cool. We can do these things. These things should not be problematic. Oh, can I go talk to David over there?
Hiya, boss. How can I be of service?
I don't know, David. How can you be of service? Let's have a chat. Speaking of which, did you happen to take a peek at the decorations in the bathroom on the first floor? What? No? I did myself, I'll have you know. If you haven't, then go take a look. Oh yeah, and we're also really proud of how strong our water pressure is. Meaning, hey, this is the South, boss. Doesn't take long to drown yourself in sweat, catch my drift? Anyways, we made sure to set our shower's water pressure to high. Well then, I can't wait to experience it. I may just have to try it out tonight.
Hiya, boss. How can I be of service?
I didn't mean-
Boss, please. I know you're a busy fella. No need to tell me twice. But if you're ever in need of any favors, you know who you can come to. See, despite how I may look, I've actually built up quite the network around here.
So you're an actual cop? Can I? Oh no, you're not a cop. I thought that was a cop jacket she had on. Ooh, there's a sneak in this game. Interesting. Don't think that existed in the previous one. Does this mean?
We always strive to
Yes,
provide our
it
guests with
does.
the finest of service, sir. Our humble, bucolic town does have its inconveniences. Shopping, in particular, can be a bit of a slog. Therefore, we decided to provide a modest selection of daily necessities right here at our very own front desk.
Great. Sounds convenient.
It does indeed.
Exactly.
What you got? Let's have a look. I'm gonna buy... No, I'm gonna buy a couple of those.
Please don't hesitate to let me know if you're in need of anything, sir.
I certainly won't, David. Thank you very
Would you
much.
mind if I asked you just one question, concierge?
By all means, please ask me whatever you like, sir.
Do you run this entire hotel all on your own? I mean, just the three of you?
Yes, that is correct, sir.
So you, or the three of you, own the entire place?
Oh, heavens no, sir. The chef, the bellboy, and myself are all mere employees of this fine hotel.
So the Clarksons own this place, too?
Not quite, sir. This hotel opened its doors long before the Clarksons came to prominence.
Impressive. No wonder this building has such a dignified air to it.
Flattery will get you everywhere, York.
Indeed. This is probably the only building in all of Lucare that has managed to retain its original appearance.
So who's the
Interesting.
owner? I simply must know the name of the person who had the fortune and sense to come into possession of such a fine building.
The owner of this hotel is none other than David Jawara, sir.
Of course.
Zach, that's the fourth David. It all makes sense now. It'd be stranger if only the owner was a completely different person.
Of course.
I sincerely hope I get a chance to meet him during my stay here.
If I may, Mr. Morgan, sir, I don't think that's such a good idea.
Why not?
Unfortunately, our owner has a bit of a personality problem. The three of us here describe him as having a fractured mind.
a slightly problematic way of describing that, but considering who you're talking to... Hello, phone. Save point. I'm going to save here, and I think that is going to... But did that save? Apparently it did. I'm going to manually save. And I think I'm going to call it there. That was a fun start. The other boot hasn't dropped yet, so far I am genuinely really enjoying it. I'm still a bit worried about some of the stuff that's going to crop up, if I'm honest. It definitely runs like arse, but I haven't got outside yet, and apparently that's where it can drop to single digits. So maybe I'll have a patch before I record the next session, but we shall see. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, if you have indeed watched, and yeah, maybe catch you next time. Bye bye.